What's up, guys? Let's talk about the brand new Diablo 4 leaks. We've got new class, we've got a new area, we've got raids, we've got mercenaries. Alright, so there's going to be a lot to take in here. Keep in mind, this is a leak. Take it with a grain of salt, but I'll give you guys my thoughts as well as go over all the information that has been discovered. And this isn't just like a random leaker. There is actual data mined file names, so there is a little bit more credibility to this leak than just some random person posting it, okay? So these are some of the newer things coming in. We actually already have, I guess, the name even to Season 3, which is called Dreamscape. Now, is this expansion pack coming out in Season 3? I don't know. Is it going to be announced at BlizzCon? I don't know. But more than likely, there's going to be some sort of big Diablo announcement, and the only thing that I think that would be a big enough announcement for people to get excited about is not just a season announcement. It would have to be either a newer class or a new expansion, or some brand new mechanic, whether it be runes. And there is some sort of like hint towards runes in here. I'm not sure if it's going to be rune words, but there is a hint to runes. So some of like the bigger highlights, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So there is going to be multiple different mercenaries, and they even have like the names. We have a Berserker Crone, a Bounty Hunter, a Cursed Child, Maiden Mongrel, a Scholar, and Shield Bearer. I like the diversity. There's so many different ones, and being able to have a mercenary, if you guys haven't played maybe Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, we had this mercenary system, which was really cool. They would have their entire inventory that you could manage, and you can actually get a lot of different DPS as well as other unique things added into the game via having a follower. It adds kind of a little bit more of an endgame progression to kind of make your follower super strong, and I think this would be a great addition to the game. Now, on top of that, there's an announcement of just the season name. Now, another thing is they're increasing the stash size to 500. This is incredible. Like, because it's like a numerical stat, right? I want to say that, again, there's a little bit more credibility to this, and they're having some sort of live quest system, and there are going to be newer raids coming to the game. So it says 5 Hills, Tomb of Akra is a raid about Karza, which is like the goat people, and it has 5 wings. So this is going to be an extensive amount of extra content to the game. So let's go ahead and kind of go over some of the other things that I was going into by reading different websites, and I'll have all my sources down below if any of you guys want to go ahead and check out more. I'm just going to give you guys like the important stuff and give you guys some visuals here at the same time. So starting right out, it has to do something with, of course, Mephisto. We're going to be going over there. But they mentioned something that I thought was very, very strange. And I feel like any leaker would not leak this if it wasn't like something that is more legitimate. So there's a new class. We already talked about it. It is the Spiritborn. And they're going to be able to use the power of nature, which is kind of strange because I feel like Druid is very similar. I did some mock-ups of using some AI artwork, so I'll show you guys kind of maybe what the class is going to be looking like, because I try to be as descriptive as possible with the info that we have. But on top of that, they're going to have, you know, their own talent tree or whatever. But there's going to be some sort of rune stones, regular and desecrated. Now, if you guys remember back in the original design, before Diablo 4 came out, there were supposed to be some sort of powers called angelic and demonic powers, and you'd have to reach certain ones. Maybe that's the difference between regular and desecrated, because sometimes when games come out with an idea and then it is removed, they add it later in the game in some sort of either DLC or expansion. And then there's going to be additional items for the game store, and this is a very specific. It says a riding cat, so a cat would be very interesting. And I was thinking maybe it's a placeholder, because we're going to be actually going to the jungles, and I'll show you guys official Blizzard artwork of some of the stuff. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's a placeholder for, like, I'm thinking like the jungle area. Maybe it is like a panther cat. That would make more sense as a mount versus like, you know, a tabby or a house cat. So again, if I was to see anyone leak that you can ride a cat in the mount shop, I would say that that is very obscure for the Diablo universe. It kind of breaks the immersion, right? So first off, there is, again, someone else that has some of the files. So there's a lot of stuff that's related to Kuros, because that's kind of the location of where we will be going in the next expansion. So the whole video is not in English, so I'm going to spare you guys and not have the whole thing play out here. But where are we going to be going? We're going to be going to the Tauren jungle. So you can see over on the map, this is where Diablo 4 is, over in the top right, and then we're going to be traveling down to Kuros and the Tauren jungles. Now, there are some artworks, there are official Blizzard artworks of some of these areas, just to give you an idea on maybe what the expansion pack area will be looking like. So here is some artwork over here. It's just kind of like a jungle scenery. And I was thinking kind of more along the lines of maybe Witch Doctor is kind of what we're looking at for the class. Now, in this area, it is actually the home of the Tusked Lords, which actually has an official skin in the game for the Druid class. So the Tusked Lords over here are affiliated with the Druids, and here is official artwork of one of the Tusked Lords. So to give you maybe an idea of the NPCs or maybe some of the enemies, what they may look like in the area. As again, this is official artwork. This is again for the Druid, so expect maybe some sort of similarities between maybe the Druid and the Spiritborn class. They also will be wielding glaives as their weapon, which is basically a polearm, and this is to be expected as a lot of people were thinking about the Valkyrie being some sort of a new class in the game. There is a display like artwork that got leaked, then it got removed. Basically, it looked like a Valkyrie class, some sort of like holy warrior with like a shield and a glaive. So we've already had glaives in previous Diablo games, but just to go over like the weapon archetype, and maybe some other mock-up artwork could be something like this. I'm thinking more along the lines of some sort of Witch Doctor wearing like some sort of like animal spirit masks. So that's what I'm thinking is going to be slightly related to the class. Again, I just mocked up some artworks, just going, keep in mind this AI artwork, so it's not absolutely perfect over here. But it will be related to going down to the Durance of Hate. If you played Diablo 2, that's the portal, and we'll probably enter some sort of new hell. Maybe we'll actually see Diablo in the next Diablo expansion, but more likely it'll be very related to Mephisto, as this is kind of his hometown that you fight him in Diablo 2. Now, on top of that, there is going to be raids, and I was looking at Immortal because, well, we don't really have raids in Diablo 4. We do have the world bosses, but if we're going to be adding raids and having these multiple wings, it would be kind of cool, and I would really like for them to add specifically like a, you know, like a dungeon finder. I think this would be a really great addition to the game. As of right now, you're going to have to go to like different Discord groups to find different people to play with, but I think if we are doing these raids, it would be really nice to be able to like queue up into the raid, and I'm not sure if they're going to do the same system. I'm just using it as a reference over here. Like I'm hoping we get multiple different raid bosses. They mentioned one of them that's going to be like a Karza theme related one, but I'm wondering if it's going to have like some sort of combat rating, like, and then we do have like attack power, but I think that's kind of a bad metric in Diablo to determine if someone is strong enough. But at the same time, if you guys have played Diablo 4 Season 2, sometimes there's people that are like level 10 trying to do like the world boss, and realistically, they're just going to be kind of leeching off of you. So how do you guys feel about adding some sort of a system where you have to reach a certain amount of damage to do the raid? Because again, it's kind of annoying when people are way under-leveled and they're just not going to contribute to the actual fight. But overall, I'm really excited about this news. Specifically, getting access to the Mercenary system allows us to have a lot more build diversity, and I was really hoping that we'd get some sort of new announcement with like, well, there was technically they announced that like rune system over here, so there's some new rune stones. This could be for Season 3. We just had like the vampiric powers that you kind of socket in, so maybe it's a system similar to like what we had in Season 1 with the Malignant Hearts. It's just something that you socket into something, and you get to have a certain amount of either regular or desecrated, and depending on what you put into, your items might have it kind of tied to the vampiric powers. But that's all the info we have on the expansion pack, the new Spiritborn class. What do you guys think of it? Are you super hyped up? I was really kind of expecting some sort of holy warrior. I feel like that area is kind of lost out. Like if it was like monk or paladin, crusader, something along the lines of that would have been more expected. But I like this turn, and if it's a brand new class to the Diablo series, I'm more excited about that. But again, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, but there is, again, a little bit more credibility because the person out there does have like the file names, but sometimes they're just placeholders. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. If you guys want to be up to date on the latest Diablo stuff and you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and you'll definitely see it as I will be covering this. And we have the BlizzCon announcement very, very soon, and there's gonna be something big announced for more than likely all of the Blizzard games. Anyways, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.